the mic working? You never tell if my mic's working on this. What's going on? All love, all love. Love from Dallas, Texas. I haven't been out there in a minute. I got to get back out there. We over here in PA, about 45 minutes outside of Philly. What up, Glenn? Who you like today? I know you got some. If we on the same card, then that's usually good things. Whenever we got the same picks, it's usually good things. Who you like today? I got a huge card today, y'all. Huge card. I mean, I got a huge card today. We hop on a little bit for these games get kicked off 12 o'clock. I got two 12 o'clock games. Obviously, one being Penn State. I know a lot of people like Michigan to roll, but I'm not bought in. I'm not going to lie. They lost a ton on that defense, and the defense is good. Just not sure if it's that good. Not sure if it's that good. Cal, you rolling with the Bears. Minus 13. Who else y'all like today? Just on here chopping it up. Oh, yeah, promo. Yeah, promo code if you guys want to use it. Get you 10% off. Today's my son's birthday, so I use it. I'm using his name as a promo code today. Using it as a promo code today. But NBA coming up. I'm excited. I'm probably gonna do some future bet stuff here soon with the NBA. And get some of these early future bets. A lot of big games today. I'm excited. It's a lot of big games. A lot of big games today. Oh, Bryce just sent something. Me and Bryce are on the same play. Let's go. It's nice when we sync up. That doesn't always happen. Does not always happen. But I just want to pop on, see what everybody's doing. See what we like. Give out some free stuff. 10% off the pack. Who's Cal got today in that matchup? Let me look. Colorado. At Colorado. That line has ballooned. Have you seen it lately? That line is ballooned, bro. It is. You got 13. Would you buy it down? Did you buy that down, Glenn? I got it at 15.5 right now. And climbing. 15.5 and climbing. A lot of steam on them. Tennessee plus the points. I like it. I don't think they're getting enough love. I don't think they're the same Tennessee of old. I don't think they're the same Tennessee of old. They actually have solid defense. Obviously, they haven't played the caliber of opponents that maybe Alabama has. But I just see chinks in the armor. I really do. I think Tennessee. I think this is going to be a great game. Arguably the best game of the day. That's my free pick. I'm on Penn State plus the 7. I understand that the ATS history has not been good. I think they're like 1-2 and 6 or something. Their last 8 ATS against Michigan, something along those lines. So I feel like everyone's waiting for Michigan to explode, but I haven't seen them face a team like Penn State. I think this Penn State defense is for real. They're coming off the bye week, and they're going to get their best shot. They're going to give Michigan their best shot. I lean Michigan to win outright, but I think Penn State gives them all they can handle. And if you look at the games prior, this guy is a 6-year senior here when we're talking about Clifford. Yeah, we're talking about Clifford. He's a 6-year senior, and he's yet to turn it over. He's yet to throw a pick against this Michigan defense. I probably jinxed it now. He's probably going to throw one today, but But yeah, I think Clifford has a solid day. I think he gets him with his legs, and I think it's a close matchup. I like the young back. Singleton's a local guy, well, kind of local, about 30 minutes from me. So I've seen him play. Gatorade Player of the Year, running back kid is a flat out stud. He's going to play on Sundays for certain. Going to play on Sundays for certain. But that defense, I think, is very good. Is very good. I think Michigan's defense is good as well, but I like Penn State to cover that. I had three I have so far. I can't wait for basketball in general. College, yeah. College basketball, man. I cannot wait. I mean, I can wait because there's a lot going on, with NFL, college football, Major League Baseball. There's so much to cap. So it's really consuming. And at the beginning, NBA is very finicky. I don't usually do a ton of NBA early on with the NBA game. Games are 82 games, a long season, and you ended up playing teams a lot, resting guys, getting rest. It's NBA is a little different. So I like to just dip the toe in the NBA, walk into it slowly. Won't be putting out a ton very early, but I am going to go and do some future bets. We've had success with that in the past, and I want to continue to stay on that path and put out some future bets for you guys to take advantage of. Some rookie of the year, some most improved player, um, and maybe some MVP stuff as well. So I want to try to get out 3 to 5 future bets for the NBA coming up this upcoming season. And obviously we know we're going to go full tilt on Utah. Or who do I like on Utah? What do you think about Utah covering at home? I mean, I'm trying to think of the last time that we've seen these teams continuously be ranked in a row after losing, you know. But I will say this: I'm not sure I'm buying USC as much as everybody else is. I think that yeah, they are tough, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I like them as much as everybody else does. I'm not on it. It's not on my card. I took a look at it, but that USC offense can get inconsistent. I don't know about being favored by 3.5. I think Utah has a great chance to win the game. I really do. But this is a real test for USC. I mean, if you take a look at their schedule, right? They only put up 17 against Oregon State. They put up 30 against Wazoo. These aren't extremely. This is going to be the best defense that they faced by far for USC. This will easily be the best defense that they've faced all year. Easily the best defense USC has faced all year. And we've seen them that defense. I am not sold on that defense whatsoever. I watched it against Stanford. Stanford had ample opportunity to take over that game. They just kept shooting themselves in the foot. Silly turnovers, miscue with snaps, untimely penalties, interceptions. Some of that, yeah, you tip your hat to USC, but a lot of that was Stanford's doing. They moved that ball up and down the field. They had 440 total yards against that USC defense. 440. So I think the offense is solid. This will be the best defense that they faced, and it'll be a good matchup. It'll be an exciting matchup. I kind of like Utah, honestly. I think maybe USC covers the points, but I like Utah to win that game. I do. Alabama and Oklahoma slam it. Dylan Gabriel is playing. It looks like he's going to play for Oklahoma. Yeah, it looks like Gabriel's going to play. So obviously the offense, I'm expecting huge changes this week. I mean, if you know Venables, I mean, he's a big time defensive guy. Obviously coming from Clemson, likes to blitz crazy. But a lot of what he does has to do with discipline, and I'm not sure they have the personnel there yet. I'm not sure Oklahoma has the personnel. We've now seen a changing of the guard from defensive coordinator to defensive coordinator. Each time they get a new coach or they're trying to improve the defense, and we just haven't seen it. So it makes you think that maybe it's not the DC, maybe it's the personnel. Maybe they got to get better guys. They got to get better guys across the defensive front. Maybe they got to get better guys in the secondary and linebackers that are more gap sound, more disciplined. But yeah, I mean, coming off a straight blowout loss, I would expect them to come out with guns ablazing today. Dylan Gabriel is going to score, that's for sure. We know that much. I'm interested in seeing what that defense does. I have no horse in that race. I want to take a look and see if there's been any adjustments from week to week as far as Oklahoma. If you come off a blowout loss, obviously the thought is bounce back. Everyone's thinking bounce back, like same as LSU, bounce back game. They got thrashed. Yeah, guys can bounce back, but you can still lose even in a bounce back effort. They can play 90% better and look great, but and still not cover the number. I thought Utah had it was a favorite there, but they were getting 3 and US 3.5. Yeah, Utah's the favorite in that matchup. There's a lot of funky lines today. There's a lot of funky lines. Everyone's like, "Well, how's Utah favorite?" It's like if you take a you take a look at USC, man. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Lincoln Riley's done a great job with the offense. The defense still has some question marks. Still a lot of question marks on that defense. And I'm not sure that they're all the way there yet. It's year one. It's year one. Things change quickly and rapidly. Let's try to get. I think Michigan will cover today. By how many? That's the question. How many you think they cover by? 10? Michigan is horrible at covering the spread. I'm on Penn State. I'm personally on Penn State. Tonight, touching the Bama game. I mean, I'm not touching the Bama game either. Every time I think I got their number, they bite me in the butt. I've bet against them twice, and I went against my one of my rules is like I don't go against Bama. I went against them twice, and it bit me twice. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Tapping out. There will be no. Even though I like Tennessee, The problem is when we saw the chinks in Bama's armor, it was early. It was early in the year. And who doesn't have issues with their defense? Who doesn't have problems with their offense? Who isn't trying to find out who they are when you just lost so many guys? Every year they put guys in the pro, even though this is a young team and a lot of these guys came back. They're still trying to find their way. When you lose Jameson Williams on the outside, that guy was a game breaker. He played for us. I'm a big Ohio State fan. He played for us. And I mean, you've seen how good the Ohio State wide receivers are, so it wasn't a knock on him, but he goes there and they could just scheme him open. When you have a guy who can just bust things open like that, the Jalen Waddles, Devontae Smith, Jameson Williams, it changes your offense. It changes your offense. And I'm not saying that this offense is bad. I just think it's not as good as it's been. It's been so elite for so many years that it's when it is a down year, and we're saying down year, and they still probably average 35 points a game. So you're scoring 40 plus for how many years in a row, and you get down in the 30s, and people think something's wrong. But yeah, it's hard for me to go against Bama, man. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. I like Tennessee, but I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and just blow the doors off of them. Miami, Ohio, -7. Michigan's hard to spread. Tennessee hasn't beat Bama since 1999. Give me Bama all day. I think that's part of the motivation for Tennessee as well. I do like Hendon Hooker, man. I like Hendon Hooker a lot. He's a dual threat guy, and that always gives Bama troubles. It gives most team troubles when you have a guy who can run it, and he doesn't really run it just to run it. He kind of runs it to make plays. He wants to throw the ball. He really doesn't want to run it. If he has to, he will. But when that freight train gets rolling, he's a pretty dangerous guy, big guy, tough to take down. But they got their running game working now, and Bryce Young coming back is going to be another boost. Yeah. That's why I think the bye week was crucial for Penn State, honestly. I mean, if you put it like this, if you're coming off of a bye week, Penn State coming off the bye week and going into this game, is pretty much going to tell me who they're going to be the rest of the year. Coming out of this bye week, how do you not give Penn State your best? I mean, how do you not give Michigan your best shot? This can determine the rest of the season for them. I think they're going to come out prepared and ready, and scheme some things up to get the offense rolling just enough to get a cover here. Not sure they get the win, but I do like them to cover. I'm not as sold as everyone else is on Michigan. They lost a lot of difference makers on that defense. a lot of different difference makers on that defense. And I'm just not sold. So we'll see. Now, obviously, this offense isn't dynamic. Penn State isn't blowing people out like that, but I think they'll keep them honest. Clifford can keep them honest with some of the big shots down the field, little play action, running the ball consistently with the young guys. If they commit to it, hopefully they commit to it. Michael Phelps, honorary captain. Big noon kickoff. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. But yeah, it's hard to go against Nick, man. It's very hard to go against Nick. Very hard. What time is that game? That Minnesota, I think it's 3:30. Did I write that one down? Yeah. Yeah, let me get this. Sorry, I'm trying to put in. Bryce sent me an early pick here. I'm trying to lock it in before before things get too late. Trying to lock in his stuff online, trying to mess with the website a little bit. Yeah, promo code JET. Today's my son's birthday. JET 10% off any pack. I just had it pulled up and I missed it. It is an early game. Minnesota going into Illinois. Line is moving on that one. 4.5 from 3.5 up to 4.5 now for Minnesota. Illinois has got the big back. He's a stud. And they have Ibrahim. Is Ibrahim playing today? It looks like he is going to play. And that makes all the difference. Is DeVito playing? Looks like he's going to play. It is early. It's a 12 game. Looks like DeVito's going to play as well for Illinois. Coming off a loss to Purdue. Still in the thick of it. Yeah, I like Minnesota. I like Minnesota to get the job done and cover the number today. As a lean. It's not on my card as a lean. That's if Ibrahim plays. I mean, without him, you saw how bad that offense was. It was so bad. They had 47 rushing yards against Purdue. Purdue's defense is decent. It's not stout by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever. You really pass on it. Run defense is solid, but 47 yards without Ibrahim is a testament to this team. He is the pulse of this team. He's the heartbeat of this team, and they still have a chance there in the Big Ten West to get to the Big Ten title. I'm not overly impressed by Iowa. I'm not overly impressed by anyone on that side, honestly. Wisconsin's having a down year. Um, it's a lot of up in the air. He's 100% playing. Ibrahim's 100% playing. Yeah, I'd lean Minnesota in that matchup. I lean Minnesota in that matchup. Minnesota going up again, but it's gonna be a battle, I think. Very well team over there. He's turning things around rapidly in Illinois. But yeah, going to be a lot of run. A lot of run for sure. I lean under in that one as well. Yeah, it's 12. It is 12, Glenn. They're playing early. It's an early game. Early game on that Minnesota and excuse me, Minnesota and Illinois. What do you guys think about that Texas game? I got to play in that one as well. Texas, Illinois State, or Texas, Iowa State. I said Illinois State. You laying at 15.5, or you rolling with Iowa plus the points? Phillies Braves over 9. I hope my Phils keep rolling. I hope they keep rolling. That's what I was telling everyone about before with their bats. They have the ability to get hot. Their bats get hot, and the pitching staff is just average to above average. They're a dangerous team. They can beat anybody. A lot of power in that lineup. There's a lot of power in that lineup. A lot of power in that lineup. We have a massive card today. It's easily the biggest card I've ever had college football. Bets. It's about time those bets got hot. We about didn't make the playoffs, bro. The Phillies almost didn't make the playoffs because their bats were so cold at one point. We were in a horrible skid. Thank God to all the other teams losing as well. The Brewers and struggling to get things done helped us out big time. But we our bats got cold when we needed them to heat up, and now they're heating up finally at the right time. So I'm excited for that. I like Old Miss, but that number's a little too high for me. I think it's a couple points too high. I can see Old Miss in that matchup against Auburn. I would 14 or I think 14 is the key number there. It's at 15 and a half now. I think 14 is the key number. So get 15 and a half is just it's a little too high for my liking. I'm not on it. I stayed away from it. I did look into it. Um, Auburn's one of those teams where you know they're going to one week get the crap beat out of them, and the next week they look like a totally different team. From week to week, they're a totally different team. But I think if they play like they've been playing, and Ole Miss plays how it's been playing, yeah, there's a great chance that Ole Miss covers that game. But it's just man, 15 and a half, man. You're talking about 3 scores. So you could completely dominate the game, right? And still not cover the 15 and a half. It's a tricky number. Very tricky number. Who is this? But yeah, I wanted to hop on here, give you guys promo code JETT, JETT, 10% off any pack, guys. Hop on board. We have a huge card. This is the biggest card I've ever had in college football. I'm excited to get into it. 2 early games, a couple in the middle of the day, I believe. I think 3:30, 2 maybe 3 at 3:30. Let me double check and get it right. Yeah, two at 12, 2 at 3:30, and 2 at 7 and 7:30. So massive card today, guys. After having to come out strong in the wild card, they've been rolling so much rather than he went against them in both series. I didn't go against them. I did have the first 5 under. I like Nola and Strider's had a lot of success against us. I think we've only got 3 runs off Strider up until yesterday. Obviously, it was my free pick. And then, of course, our bats just started going crazy. Bats went crazy, and Strider only went, I think, 2 1/3 or 2 2/3. They absolutely smoked him. So yeah, that killed my first 5 under, but it's nice to see the Phils get rolling. Why are you retracting messages, man? What's going on over here? But yeah, want to give you guys promo code JET, 10% off any pack, guys. We have 1 hour till first kick. Still have a ton of games, even if you don't get the noon games, you still have the 3:30 games. I agree. I hate those spreads. Little 14, I stay away in specific game. Yeah, it just depends on the matchup. It really just depends on the matchup for me. 15 and a half is a tough number when you're talking about conference play, even if there's a definitive advantage. 15 and a half is a tough number. You can get beat by 2. Like, as bad as Stanford, I always use this example. As bad as Stanford played against USC, they still were right there. It's still, they barely covered that number. USC barely covered the number. They don't get 3 turnovers, they don't cover. I think their number was 15. It was around that 15 and a half, 15 when I played because I played it. I had USC and they covered, but I felt lucky that they had covered that game. They just have that feel in the 15 and a half, unless you're going to be completely and utterly dominant. And even still, you could dominate and be up by 3 scores and still lose in a backdoor cover or something dumb like that. But Yeah, I'm staying away from that game. I like Ole Miss to win. I think they win handily. Just not sure about that 15 and a half. Yeah, happened to Michigan. I had them like 18 a week ago. Three scores up by a touchdown in the third, last two thirds. Yeah, it is. It's exactly what happens because when you get up by that many scores, and then the second half is here, and you're up 18, or they're up by 20 points in the fourth quarter. I'm not playing. I'm pulling guys out. I'm putting second stringers in. Even if they don't score and we only give up one score, you feel comfortable in the win. Or halfway through the fourth, they'll do it sometimes. Or they just decide they're going to just run the ball and run the clock and be okay punting it. Then it's tough. I'm not sold, bro. I know a lot of people like Michigan. I'm not sold. That's why I'm on state. I am not sold. Their ability to close the door against bad teams lets me know the type of caliber team you are. And I think that there's a huge difference between the top three and everybody else. I think there's a huge gap from Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State. It's those three in any order you want to put them, and then everybody else. That's it. It's Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia, and then everybody else. After that, I don't care how you want to rank them, what you want to do. But those three teams, I think, are far and away better than everybody. Better than everybody. But yeah, I'm about to get up off here. I just wanted to hop on, get you guys' thoughts on some games. You guys get my thoughts on some games. Let you guys know we have future bets coming, a possible combo pack as well, NBA and college basketball combo. If that's something you're interested in, for a full season, I'm going to look into rolling that out here very soon as NBA is starting up, I believe, next week. So it's coming up very quickly. I'm going to try to probably get one up later. Yeah, the Vols. You like the Vols today? Should be a great game. I'm hoping it's a great game. I hope it's not one of those where it's like, we're hoping for a battle. Ah, that's funny. Gotta see Bryce cry. But yeah, we might. I don't know. They're saying he's a game time decision. I'm fully expecting him to play. Even if he doesn't play, I still think it's a great game. I still think it's a great game. I didn't know what Bryce you were talking about at first. If you were talking about my guy Bryce, or if you were talking about Bryce Young. That's why it was funny. But yeah, I wanted to hop on here, give you guys a promo. JETT, my boy's first birthday. We got the birthday party popping off tomorrow. And 10% off any pack. Hop on a day pack. We have a monster card, and I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. Exactly. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them, Jamal. It's like the game's in hand, and there's I mean, especially some of these teams. Um, I mean, like us, Ohio State, like I'm not, we got a lot more important games to play than some of these games, Rutgers or whoever, you're up big. It's like pull them out. Let Kyle McCord come in, sit CJ Stroud down, put the running backs down. We got 4-star, 5-star guys in the wing waiting to go. They want to play, let them get in there, get some reps. That's how you get your team. That's why Bama's so good. People wonder how they are going to play and beat the crap out of you. They're not cutting slack on anybody. Beat the crap out of you for a half, 2.5 quarters, and then a quarter and a half. These young kids are going to play. We're going to go put in our backup quarterback. We're going to put in our backup running back. We're going to go put in our wide, but they play like they're still trying to score. They're not milking the clock. They're still throwing stuff around. Guys are getting game reps against first team defenses a lot of time. Now they're tired and they're worn down, but it's still they're getting first rep, getting reps against a first team defense. And it pays dividends for them big time. It pays big dividends for them big time. Now their conference play is great, but I always give them crap about their non-conference. Now their non-conference was good this year, playing Texas, obviously, but I always usually give them crap, and I always think that it's unfair how they sometimes will have a non-conference game in like smack in the middle of their schedule or towards the end of the year, because I look at that like a bye week where we don't have that ability. All our non-conference games are early. So when we get to the end of the year, man, and you got to run off a gauntlet of Penn State, and then you roll into Michigan State, and then you roll in, you got to come back and play Michigan. Is a tough ask. And then you go play a Big Ten title game, and then you go play the college football playoff. I think that happened to us a few years ago. It's just a lot of big games in a row. So for them to be able to play teams like Citadel and whoever at the end of the year, it breaks that up and basically gives you a bye week where your starters play about a half, and then they get to rest up and get ready for a big marquee matchup the following week. So I just think that they should match up the conference games if they're going to do that. Make sure everyone has the same amount of conference games. Make sure everyone has the same amount of non-conference games, and make sure that it's fair across the board. I don't mind if you're going to play a non-conference in the end of the year, but then everybody should be doing it. The early locks. I hate that word. I don't know why, but I hate it. But yeah, I've been on here for a little bit talking about any games you guys wanted to talk about. That's about to hop off unless people are going to come back in. If people are going to hang in here, it's been like up and down, people in and out, in and out. But I hate that word lock. It was like, I got a lock. It's like, there's no such thing as a lock. Literally had so many games where I'm like, oh, this is over. And I'd go do something else, come back and lose. Or quarterback gets injured. We saw Kansas quarterback go down last week. That was crazy. I like that under Illinois, Minnesota as well. We talked about that game a little bit. I like Minnesota. The line has jumped. It's went from 3.5. Last I saw was 4.5, favoring Minnesota on the road there against Illinois. A tough team. It's not. I don't think it's a tough win. I think it's a low scoring game. Both have outstanding running backs. Both have stout run defenses. Going to be a good one. I like the ability of Minnesota to stretch the field with their passing game and play action. Obviously, with Ibrahim a little bit more. I trust their passing game a little bit more than I do um, Illinois in this matchup. Happy birthday, Little Dimes. We're good people in this month. Yeah, it's my boy. Yeah, my boy's birthday today. So shout out to my son, Jet. He's in there taking a nap. That is, I got to play in that game too. I double dipped on that one. I double dipped on that Oklahoma State TCU game. It's going to be electric. Appreciate the birthday love. Appreciate the birthday love. I do. I'll make sure I let him know when he gets up and give him some love. We having a little birthday party for him tomorrow or whatever. I do not. Do you know it? I'm not familiar with his story. I mean, he's I think, in my opinion, he's maybe the most improved player in college football. I mean, I watched him the past couple of years, and he's he is much improved as a passer, to say the least. He made some throws the other week that I was like, yeah, that's NFL caliber. Yeah, it was NFL caliber throws he was making. Watched him in years past. I thought he was just like a quarterback who runs but can throw. You know what I mean? But he wants to run first, and he looks like he can throw it. He looks like he can throw it. Now, is that because he's got better, or is Sonny Dykes' offense that good? Combination of both, I believe. But he's playing lights out. He's not turning the ball over a ton. But what you going to be a shootout? I like the over. I believe TCU can control pace. I think both those defenses are suspect. If we're going to be honest here, I watched the TCU Kansas game from tape to tape. Tons of opportunity, even with Daniels going out, even with the quarterback going out. They bring in the backup, who basically was the starter for most of the year last year. But Kansas was getting almost anything they want, and they were not having a tough time moving the ball. TCU came up with some timely turnovers, some strips. They were stripping guys. They do a good job ripping that ball out, and made some good turnovers and had some nice timely turnovers. But both those defenses are suspect. I think the difference in this matchup is the physicality. I think TCU has the speed from left to right. They're going to stretch the field. They want to get guys in space, right? You want to get guys in space. You want to get guys in one-on-one matchups. and exploit that because they are extremely fast team. I'm not sure they have the beef. So if Oklahoma State decided that they just wanted to line it up, slow it down, and mash it down your throat, it'd be a closer game. But I'm not sure they're going to do that. Oklahoma State this year seems like they want to throw it around the yard, and Sanders has done a good job of that as well. So yeah, it could be a lot of points here. Could be a lot of points in that matchup. I have a play in that side, so I can't give you that one out. I have a play in that one, so I'm not going to give it out. But with some of these games, I can't get in my app. Jackson State, JSU, Montana State, these lower teams that have been dominating, not able to take anything for these games. I haven't looked into it, but I did notice that before. Sometimes, where if I'm looking into some of these smaller games, and I try to look at stuff a little bit earlier, um, and I'm like won't be able to find it. I like that they added the search bar. A lot of these apps, if you're in a betting state, a lot of these apps have added the search bar, which has been my saving grace. So I don't have to like scroll through a ton of games to find the game I want or find the pick I want or whatever the matchup is. You can just type it in at the top and it pops up right there. So that's been the saving grace for me. I mainly used BetMGM and FanDuel Sportsbook are the main two that I do use, but I do like to compare lines. I'll look at Fox Bet sometimes. Sometimes I'll look at Barstool Sportsbook. There's a lot of different rivers. There's rivers out here in Pennsylvania, a lot of different ones that are out here. So you got to I want to compare. I want to get the best line I can. I always tell you guys to shop around, find the best lines that you guys can. But yeah, some of those low level games, I noticed they added a tab on my the apps that I use that says local games, and once I click that local games, it'll give it to me. But he was a third string, going to be a riser, gets COVID, heart problem, has to have his chest opened up from belly button to chest. You've got to be kidding me. Recovers and is now one of the hottest. That's nuts. I did not know that about Duggar. I did not know that he got opened up. What was it? Heart surgery? Did he have heart surgery? Is what you're saying, or you just had something they had to check out? Like that's crazy. He's a great player, man. That offense is dynamic. Duggan is tough kid, man. He better watch not sliding. I will say that. He's going to take a shot here one of these times. I thought he was going to get smoked against Kansas like 3 separate times where I thought he should have took a slide and he didn't. Syracuse, North Carolina State. The injuries to both quarterbacks worry me, even if they play. NC State is very stout. I like NC State as well in that matchup. A lot of people are on Syracuse, undefeated team. I think NC State's overall the better team. Obviously, it's on the road. It's going to be loud in the dome. It's tough to play in the dome. I can't believe Oklahoma's up to 10-point favorites. It's wild to me. They are 10-point favorites. Holy crap, that line has moved. Oklahoma up to 10. Yeah, I like NC State in that matchup, but I will not look over Syracuse. I think Syracuse is one of those teams that kind of plays up and down to their level of competition, which makes them hard for me to trust. Where I think NC State is one of those teams that's going to bring it every week. They usually have a solid pass rush. They have a decent pass rush once again this year. I like them in this matchup. I like them to win this matchup outright. And I like them with the points either also, but been off Oklahoma this year. So iffy. I like CCU. They've had some tough games as far as the spread, but I like them. Duggan story. But yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I lean NC State in that matchup. But I think it's a close. I think it will be a close one at least for a little bit. I am not overly sold on Cuse. I'm just not. I'm just not. I know a lot of people are taking them. A lot of people are believing it. I'm not one of those guys. You take a deeper look into it. I'm not sure. I believe they beat a West Virginia team by 2 as 10-point favorites at home. They had the Purdue matchup. They won by 3. They played UConn. They played Louisville, who we know Louisville always has expectations and fails to deliver. So I'm just not sure how good they are. If you look at the quality opponents that NC State has played now and the success that they've had, I think it's hard for me to not go with them. Coming off a solid win against Florida State, and where Leary goes down in the matchup, they played Clemson basically to the end. Now, I think the momentum shifter in that game was the late hit. The late hit that happened in that Clemson game lit a spark on that team that we hadn't seen Clemson, because up to that point, I think NC State was winning, and after that, it was like, I think, three straight scores, three straight unanswered for Clemson against NC State. So it kind of lit a fire. They kind of shot themselves in the foot on that one with the unnecessary late hit, and it changed the momentum. But I like NC State versus Syracuse for sure. I like NC State. I like NC State in that matchup. Sorry, I'm checking the family group chat is going on right now. Clemson at Florida State is a game I stayed away from. I have stayed away from that. I'm staying away from that. Florida State is literally pissing me off. Pissing me off, Florida State. They're a team I feel like should have a better record than they do, and they continuously do stupid things to shoot themselves in the foot. The penalties, they just seem undisciplined. The talent is there. I'm waiting for them to break through and like consistently break through. They're in most games that they're in. I just feel like they beat themselves a lot. I really do. They're a very hard team for me to trust. Very hard team for me to trust. And as much as I hate Clemson, as much as I can't stand Dabo Sweeney, they just keep getting better. They just keep getting better. But yeah, promo code JET. My son's birthday today. 10% off, guys. Hop on board. I have 6, I believe it is, college football picks. Huge card for me today. I'm excited. We have totals, we have dogs, we have outright dogs, and we have favorites. It's a big card all around. Huge card. DJ's gotten better, yes. I feel like they finally understand that he's not like the quarterbacks they've had. If you're looking at Clemson, you have to understand how fortunate they've been. If you look at the caliber of quarterbacks that they've had in a row, with some of these guys are generational guys. So, but I'm about to get up out of here and get me something to eat before these games come on, before my son wakes up for his nap. And but good luck to you guys. Best of luck. If you tuned in, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you got some valuable information. If you did not, I'm sorry that I disappointed you. Use the promo code, hop on the pack. Have a great day, guys. Derek Dime signing off. God bless.